LED balls. These are quite neat little devices. These ones, the small ones, are actually classified as balloon LEDs. Let me find the listing here. And for £2.69, typically you get 25 pieces mini LED balloon light lamp, and it's got loads of keywords after that. The seller these ones came from, though there are lots of sellers, was 4_80595, which is an interesting name. And they're available not just in the multicolour. That I got the multicolour version here that flashes through different colours, but you also get them in single colours like blue, red, white, yellow and green. I've ordered some of the green ones because I know that the green will is one of the, it's because the green is one of the most efficient colours in gallium nitride LEDs. It will last the longest in a battery, charge. It will charge the batteries aren't chargeable. You can change them though. The other one, the bigger ones, the more diffuse ones here, which are they claim they're waterproof. I've not tried that. I mean, they do just clip together Tupperware style, so they may be relatively waterproof, not sure. But if you left them in water for a long period of time, I'm sure it would seep in. But these ones are classed as 12 pieces colourful fairy pearls, berries, festival floating balls LED. These ones came from, I think that's one of Tom Top's names, not sure, X-Web-Top. And these ones were a bit more expensive. These ones came in at about £5.46 in this instance for 12. The other ones, the balloon ones, which contain smaller batteries, were a lot cheaper. Now, strangely, the balloon ones, where's a notepad here? I'm kind of used to a different shape of light for the balloon lights. If you go and buy a balloon light from, say, Poundland, you'll end up with a balloon that looks like that, with a little tab coming out the end, and it just says "pool." And when you pull the tab, there's a little light source that then just starts glowing inside the balloon. And the actual construction of those is that there's a sort of domed, bullety shape end with the batteries inside and the LED at the end. And then there's a sort of dimple is the best way to describe it. Dimple's not the best way to describe it. It's a recess, a sort of almost like a pin sticking out the end, but it's all moulded in the same plastic. And the balloon, when it's put over it, this is obviously pushed in from the open end of the balloon, and then a little rubber band is just snapped over that, or maybe more than one, or the same one multiple times. Very hard to get off until you've sussed that how it is. You kind of have to cut them out, but they do come out. But these ones look as there's nothing to hold them into the balloon. I get the feeling that once you've pulled the tab out, you pretty much just drop them into a balloon and they just sit inside it. These ones, however, are different. If I pop one open, so they pop apart Tupperware style, which really requires good fingernails. They do close quite tightly. I might, there we go. And they get the wee pull tab and a circuit board. The circuit board is just kind of sat in loosely. It's not glued or screwed in. It's loose, so you can get it out. If you prise it up with a screwdriver, you can get it out to change the lithium cells. And there are two lithium cells. They are 1220s, which means they're 12mm diameter by 2mm thick. And the two of them will add up to about 6 volts initially when they're fresh. And if you look at the top of the circuit board in this one, it's a pretty much a round circuit board with the sides cropped off. You get the battery terminals coming on. You've got an LED. In this case, it's the colour changing LED, so it's got the little chip inside and then the 3 LEDs. With the wires going onto it so it can cycle through the colours. But there is also a resistor, a little surface mount resistor, which is a value of 151, which is 150 ohms. So it's not really pushing LEDs a lot of current through them. It should be pretty good, actually. They should get a fairly good runtime off those cells, and they can be changed. I'm not sure what would be the most expensive, a new set of batteries or just buying the new thing completely. But once you've pulled that tab out or put new batteries in or whatever, it just sits back into the sort of housing and clips together Tupperware style to give a diffused beam of light. And when you roll it, it will generally end up pointing light source up. These ones are interesting, the little balloon ones. When you roll them, they're very decisive. They always end up pointing straight up. They've got a flat surface in the bottom, and as long as they're not obstructed, they'll always it's not done it. They'll always land pointing up the way, so you could literally just pull the tabs and scatter them. This is what people are going to do. They're going to throw them onto grass and things like that, and then just walk away and leave it as well, litter. These ones, the construction is different. You can put a new LED in. I put a new LED in this one already. It's a warm white LED. And if I open one of these up, is that me scuffed it? That is me scuffed my fingernail. Let's use a knife to gently prise this open. This one's held together by studs. Will a screwdriver work better for this? Possibly not. This is where I'm absolutely going to stab myself, isn't it? They're pressed together quite tightly. I don't think they're really intended for reuse with the batteries, but you could put new batteries in them. So once it's open, you've got the LED is just popped off here. It's kind of, is it trapped in any way? It's kind of a friction fit. It is kind of a press fit into the end of that. But it is jammed either side the batteries, and there's a spring as well. So I'll just doodle that. Where's the paper? So its construction is, you've got the standard little battery shape, which is shaped like that with a little dome out the end there. And then another one. So that's the positive contact, negative contact, positive contact. And then at this end is a spring. And then the LED is literally just going like this. If this is the LED here, its legs are bent out like that and like that. So the spring provides pressure against the leads all the time. And interestingly, with these ones, you can stick the tab in with them. It's quite precise. There's that little slot in the bottom. But you can wedge a tab into one of these if it's lit, and it will just slide comfortably between those the batteries and break the circuit. So it's, it means that if you use them at, say, for instance, a party or something on the table, you can just put these tabs in to reuse them again later. It's quite neat little things. Not really much else to say about them. You can change the batteries in them if you so desired. It'd be nice if they could be somehow made rechargeable. I'm not sure how practical that would be given such tiny cells. It would have to be nickel metal hydride cells, and you'd probably have to use a stack of 3. I'm not sure how you'd recharge that. But these ones, yeah, the Tupperware-ish type effect that makes them clip together. They're not that tight, so I think water would gradually get in. But they're quite smart visually. And in a dark environment, let's turn the light off, in fact. Let's turn it off and take the exposure off. Yeah, they're pretty smart. This is pretty much how they look. Lots of little bright balls of light. So you could have almost used them as like cordless fairy lights in a way. But yeah, quite smart.